for that hog dog news of the day. Thank y'all for subscribing to the channel. Hit that like button, the notification bell. Comment at the bottom. It's your boy Hirsch holding it down. Pelican Bay Canines. Let's get into it.
If I find my way home, yeah. Wouldn't it be crazy? Would you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Would you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Would you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Would you still amaze me? If I find my way home, yeah.
See, you can't do that now. If you try that shit now, you know, you're doing it in chat rooms, you're doing it in group rooms. You know, you're doing it on podcasts. I mean, that's about as hard as it's gonna get with all that going on, because you're doing it right there in front of the world to see. And so what really is going to happen out of all that? I mean, for real. With all that clapping and all that, but what is really going to happen? Ain't nobody going to do shit, you know. And none of them got no champions or grand champions or nothing to be putting on each other or cleaning out each other's yards. So, hey, it's harmless. See, when you come back here in my time, see, I can bring all that up and say all this shit that I'm saying right now and understanding, you know, why you guys just don't fit up back here and we don't fit up there. But while we back here, we taking y'all back here. We just, while you're back here, you know, and it really boils down to it. It really does boil down to it, because back here we can safely say, you know what I'm saying, that this is what's going on. We can safely say that. And we can safely tell you to just step your feet in our shoes. Because when you step out my shoes and go back to where you at, you're going to find that you was wearing a big pair of shoes stepping in my shoes.
Episode all about saying everybody, no matter how much you go to it, should have a good vet on standby, because you never know when you got to take your dog to the vet, and make sure it's a good, trustworthy vet, for one. All right, and I know I'm not the only person that thinks like this, and it's just not, you know, something that just, you know, just thinking crazy or something. This is real and this is legit, what I'm about to say. Now, is it me, or are some vets biased towards pit bulls? You know what I'm saying? It's almost like you taking your pit bull is like going to the hospital with no health insurance. You know what I'm saying? They put you, when you bring your pit bull in there, if it's hurt or some type of thing, like they really treat you bad when it comes to your dog. In some cases, like if you can't afford it, you can't even leave with your dog and they put your dog to sleep. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like you got bad cops, you got bad teachers, you got bad employees, you got bad veterinarians. You know what I'm saying? And really the vets don't get no kind of flack back on them with nothing. You know what I'm saying? You never see the vets get anything said about them across the news, really, across the country. You know what I'm saying? And something needs to stop, because people are getting kind of scared to even take their pit bulls to the vet because of the reason that the vets either gonna put your dog to sleep, make up some kind of reason that you can't, you know, they're gonna give you some kind of super expensive fee for your doctor bill, and you can't afford it, Now you got to leave your dog there. They won't let you take it. When you try to take it, they're going to say, oh, you can't leave with it. They call the animal control.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Who all's out there tonight? Breaking 19. John Wilkins, what's going on, buddy? How's them Bulldogs doing? Got any pictures for me? Michael Schrader, what's up, buddy? What's going on, Supreme Excellence? What's up? What's up, Jeff Smith? Arrowhead. What's up? What's up?
You see it every Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You know, dogs will come out, they're showing everything in the world. Oh man, and you be like, damn man, this baby was so far ahead. He just crumbled in the end. Because guess what? They came in there playing. Yeah, you dominated, but the one that you was on, guess what? If he wasn't nothing else, he was game. He was gaming in you. His mouth may not have been as hard as yours, but he was gaming in you. You got to breed the game dog. You got to breed the game dog. You was not. I tell you what, you take the man that breeds the game dog, you take the man that breeds mouth to mouth and see what they come up with in 15 years. One ain't even going to be around. See? One of y'all ain't going to be around. If you just breed, if you breed a hard-biting dog to a hard-biting dog. You breed a smart dog to a smart dog. Or you breed, whatever. You just juggling up all the subtraits. You juggling up all the subtraits, but neglecting gamers. Come on, man. You can't do that. You can't, man.
What's up, my folks? I hope y'all are doing good and having a great day, getting ready for Thanksgiving and all that good stuff. I know we're slammed. We're getting finished up, getting ready for everybody. We're fixing to have a bunch of people coming in. We're gonna do a yard video. I had a few questions. I told y'all I'd do a video when my bitches would start taking, so I think they started taking. What's up, Pink? But there's little Go-Go. I don't know if y'all can see her and the way the lighting is. Well, she's turned into a good-looking little bitch, little pup. Yep, that killer dog threw a nice litter with Cherry now. It's a good-looking dogs. Pretty good-looking little bitch. But yeah, he turned out pretty good with it. I'm real happy with the way they look and act good. As you'll notice, the cherry breedings, they'll go a certain way. I always breed that bitch to a real powerful family of male, you know. Like that, that's the offspring of her. Back to Tank, you know, put a real hardcore heavy hitter on top of that blood. You know, a lot of these bloods have different traits, you know. That's one thing about them, you know. I know people are going to hate on me about this, but I noticed when the dogs have a lot of heavy Hollingsworth influence, like the Hollingsworth bull, sometimes they don't all come heavy mouth, you know what I mean? It doesn't. I like to put other stuff on that. Now they might be very gamey dog. Now that's why I don't take nothing away from them, but they're not known to have real heavy mouth. Most of them ain't. But I find that you can it's not hard to put mouth in them. You just got to cross them out. It's kind of like a lot of these strange. That's what off the Rusty Dixie, of course. She's coming along good. Her sister's in the pen right now being worked. All them the older dogs are getting hunted. Looking good. All them pups coming up. But of course we got that breeding again done, and then I got Angel bred to him. So we got two similar to those litters right there. That's one of my Turtle Buster Jeep Red Boy Rascal cross. That's what that is.
Brother Fat Bill says skittish is hereditary. I agree, and that's why for my program I won't breed my skittish dogs.
Yep, I totally agree.
I will cull them for my program, and if they're culled and you use them for work that doesn't require them to be very social, you're going to sign a waiver saying you're not going to have them around kids, because the tendency for that dog to bite a child doesn't realize that a dog cowering away is a sign of fear. That can be a very dangerous thing, especially with our breed. And so for a skittish dog, it would be given to someone that has, you know, some land out in the middle of nowhere and just wants to preserve the breed. But I will not sell knowingly sell a skittish dog, and I will not intentionally add it to my breeding program. That takes away from what an old yeller dog is supposed to be. And it's extremely important that everybody understand that there's a lot of bloodlines that can be skittish, but the ones I've seen to be the most skittish are some of the heavy bred Red Boy Jocko dogs, as well as some of the Bolio dogs, in my opinion. If y'all know any of the bloodlines, please. This is one of those things where for the safety and for the up, we don't want no more attacks in the news from some dumb shit. So if you know those bloodlines or you know of something that has that a lot, please share that in the chat, because I implore y'all not to bash any one bloodline, but if you see something consistent, speak on it. You know, that's not a bad thing to put it out there. I yield the floor.
Yeah, and that's why I was saying, man, handling skittish dogs isn't for everybody, man. It's really not, you know. But the number one thing that I can say is patience and knowing what you're getting into.
Hey, Big
Yeah.
A, you really hit on a good point, bro. Cause you know, some people get skittish dogs and they want to beat it out of them, bro. But that's not the way to go. You know, really got don't. What you just say? You said don't. You know, don't the discipline. Use more
Yeah.
correct, more discipline. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got. I mean, it's a feel, man. Cause you know what I'm saying with those skittish dogs, man. Like, you know, just like Jay was saying, man. Like skittish dogs, they bite out of fear. You know what I'm saying? They bite, you know, and they can get aggressive with it too. But, you know, having the patience to understand that. Because when you start disciplining those dogs, man, they start thinking, you know, it is, you know, depending on how you discipline them, man, it could be, you know, anybody could get it because they're out of fear. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, I mean, it's just a patient thing. And really, it comes with experience. But, you know, like I could say, the ultimate thing that you got to have, and that's just all around the board, man, is patience when you handling these dogs.
Right.
You know.
We want y'all to do what we do. One thing we always do. We always. You mean we always. You can damn near best believe we always scratch the win. Always.
Stand a nigga. I hate a nigga. Always worrying about the dumbest shit. These Negroes always worrying about the dumbest shit. And always worrying about the dumbest shit. Negroes always worrying about the dumbest shit. Negroes always worrying about the dumbest shit. Negroes. We do what we supposed to do here. Morning, afternoon. We clean up shit. We clean up shit. We clean up our shit over here. Every morning. We clean up our shit over here. Every morning. Every morning. We clean up our shit. We clean up our shit over here every fucking morning. Every morning. We clean up our shit. Every morning. We clean up our shit every morning. You stupid Negroes, dumbest Negroes in the world.
Everybody knows crime out there. Everybody know what type of situation we in the streets. All I'm doing is showing you and telling you. You know what I'm saying? Why get mad at the brother that bring you the news? Get mad at the person that's making it happen. Feel me? It's like, you know.
That must be the new dog game, Eli. Because the old one that I remember, opinion didn't get you nowhere but with other people that had opinion. That left you at the house wondering who won a fight to that you weren't invited to.
Yeah, because you what damn sure wasn't there.
Yeah, you know, it's a different world. You're right, Eli. It's a different world. The people that had opinions wasn't invited to the fight. They had to wait on Sunday to find out who won. Back then, if I was active, I ain't had to call you and find out could I come to your show. When you got there, I was there already, and vice versa. And nobody checked the door and find out what was nobody like, oh, you ain't in the fast lane, you can't come here. And nobody got asked them kind of questions. Yeah. Except, but just don't let me keep crying, bro. I want to talk about something else, bro.
Hold on, I'm about to pick up my food. Go get my delivery. Go get your Lenny Williams on.
Well, I might start crying then. You know, I get my Lenny on.
I know the person is hot.
Oh no, bro, don't do it, bro. Don't let her do that, bro. Don't let him do that, bro.
What? I can't see nothing. I ain't on the chat.
Say, bro. He said, but it's them Brundles that play on the Lakers, bro.
He said, "If the what?"
The Lakers got a bunch of Brundles that play for the Lakers. The Lakers got a bunch of Brundles, bro.
Yeah, I'm on. What side are you on?
Hey, Sweet Pope.
Oh, there we go. All right, thank you. Well, Shreveport in the building.
Yeah, bro.
All right, my people. So, are y'all tired of having to wait almost 30 minutes to an hour for your dog just to spin around in circles, sniff the ground just to empty out? Well, I'm here to tell you, I got a hack for that. It's been working for me for years. And if you don't have the proper equipment, you can always just hand walk. It does the exact same thing. The objective is to get the intestines heated up. And that way, once they're good and heated up, the minute you take them out the door, it's not going to be all the sniffing and running around and barking at stuff. It's just going to be straight to the emptying out portion. That's it. All right, folks. So what I like to do is put on the treadmill for a good brief little few seconds. And you got to be careful. Always keep a bag on deck or something in hand because they might empty out on you. So just let it get warmed up. The intestines warmed up real good. And then it's a nice little exercise in the morning.
Welcome back, everybody. I got a new video here. This came from during a conversation we're having, me and my friend Joseph, and it had to do with breeding pit bulls. Now, I've been on a lot of chats and even in my own channel here talking about breeding, talking about the quality of pit bulls. Has the quality increased? Has it decreased? You know. And I've said this before, I'll say it again, you know. The pit bull with individual breeders, with individual dogmen, has gotten better, is going to continue to evolve and get better. But overall, because there's so many pit bulls being bred, and now they're worldwide in almost every country on the face of the earth, the quality is going to go down. Because not a lot of people are breeders, not a lot of people have breeding standards and ethics, but they breed dogs, you know. Pit bull is one of the most bred domestic canine there is on the face of the earth. They're very popular. People want them for a variety of reasons. And along with that, they're most interested in the pedigree more than they are the individual dog. That's how breeders sell their dogs for the most part, you know. And one thing I've been mentioning in different venues is, you know, how do you market pit bulls today? In today's society where dog fighting is illegal, but we have legal sports, we have legal hunting, legal conformation shows, a lot of things you can do with the pit bull. And if you're breeding dogs and you're selling them, how do you market them? You know, at the very least, let's hypothetically, if I had dogs today, and I wouldn't be doing anything illegal with them, but if I did, if I was selling you a pup, this is how I would do it. I'm sending you a pup that's healthy, dewormed, deloused, had its first, second, third shots, depending on the age of the pup. It has a good immune system. It's structurally sound, no skin problems, no internal organ problems, no health problems. And it's going to have, you know, it's going to be a pup.
For Melvin Brown, okay, to go purchase a male or female from Mr. Floyd or a son, okay. And guess what? 3 years later, those same two dogs, they're sitting up titled, accomplished, proven, and everything. It would be backwards. It would be a backwards thinking or a backwards move for me to say, hey, well, goddamn, let me go to Florida to get me two of them. Hell no. Why would I do that? No. Florida is not the source. Guess who the source is? In this instance, you the source, Melvin. You the source. You the source. That's when you become the source at that time. You know why? One thing that's going to make you the source. Why? Because you working everything that you got. You working everything that you got. You're not sitting back on a whim talking about, well, they should do this, you know, just because how it's bred. No. You the source. You the source. This is how we do it. And you know, so when it comes to making the decision of buying a dog, think, man, think. Even when you're accepting a dog for somebody, when somebody offer you a dog, it's, you know, when you accepting the dog from somebody, make sure it's for somebody that's working. Make sure it's somebody that's working. That's all I ask. You know, for you to just be more vigilant, you know, before you go to throwing money away like that. You know, that's a fact. DJ Red Dog. Yeah, but, well, you're right. You're right. You're right. Not every source is a breeder. Every source is not a breeder. You know, not every source is a breeder. But look, guess what, DJ Red Dog? My chance is better of getting a good dog. Studying to that champion that you bought from Tom, that you made champion with. Or that you bought from anybody, Evolution, Titan, Chico, or anybody, Black Rock, anybody. You feel me? Larry, what's up? Got you. I got you, bro. I got you. Yeah, you know what I mean? You know, yeah. My chances are better. My percentage is going to be much, much higher. Much, much higher of getting anything, getting it from Melvin. Because yeah, Melvin went to Tom to get one. Melvin went to Pat and got one too. And all of them turned out good. Turned out to be a couple of the best dogs in the country. Best dogs in the country. Now, why would I circumvent going to the best dogs of the country to breed to go back to what y'all call the source? You know, the best country in the dog to breed to, it's been worked by a person who's working. Stretch them. Nah.
Yo, it's your boy Pelican Bay Kennel giving you that dog news the way I always do, fair and unbiased. Some gonna like it, some ain't. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Like I always say, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, go ahead and hit that button. Go ahead and hit that button. Don't forget to hit them like buttons before you get up out of here. Hit them like buttons while we doing this thing, and don't forget to get up in them comments. Shout out to all the Bulldoggers from the east to the north, to the west, to the south. Hope y'all had a good day. Hope y'all had a safe day. We about to get into some things. It's your boy PBK. First thing I want to talk about, man, when we're working these dogs, you know what I'm saying? When we're working them, we gotta make sure, man. We gotta make sure that, you know, we massaging these dogs, man. When you take them out there and you go out there and you run them on the bike or you run them on your meal or whatever kind of exercise you're doing, weight pulling or anything, we want to massage these dogs. You know, take them to whatever spot you got, and you know, give them a good massage, man. Work them muscles, you know, because you can't expect, like I always say, you can't expect your dog to give you 100% if you're not gonna, you know, treat them like a king. You know what I'm saying? So don't forget to massage them dogs, man, and hit the vital spots, like, you know, like I'm showing you right here. Some of the vital spots. Shout out to all the folk in the chat, man. I ain't had time to check it out yet, but shout out to all y'all brothers. I'm about to get up in there in a second. You know, about to get up in there in a second. But yeah, man, this is some spots to hit that when them dogs need that massaging, man. All them spots be sore. You know, just like when you go to the gym, you know, work them muscles out for them, man. But you know, we're going to get into some things today. But first thing I want to do before we get into that is Black History Month. You know, so I'm going to give honor to a black dog brother, you know, part of the fraternity, Mr. Vernon Whitley. You know, Mr. Vernon Whitley. Shout out to Mr. Vernon Whitley. You know, it's Black History Month. Me, myself, I don't believe in that. I believe in we talk about all history all year long. You know what I'm saying? History, you know, because we deserve more than just 1 month. You know what I'm saying? It should be everybody, all history, all year long. You know, they need to rearrange all the history books and put the real history in them history books and stop, you know, talking that, you know, that BS, you know. But anyway, shout out to brother Vernon Whitley. You know, we're gonna show some of his dogs. You know, that's him up there. This is him with his dog Op. All right, this is him with his dog Jack. Mr. Whitley with his dog One Eye. Stan the Man. Mr. Whitley, Stan the Man. That one there. Then we got Tiger Jack. Mr. Whitley's Tiger Jack. Mr. Whitley Snowball.
Don't know what the hell they be talking about. Some of the simplest questions and the naive questions is going to be asked because I mean, it's a fact that everybody on Facebook to deal with these different groups got to be verified, certified, true dog men. Where a simple beginner can't ask the simplest questions before he's getting bombarded for being a idiot or a dummy. And, you know, it could be somebody new in the game want to know. You know, and it's the bombardment. It's just, I call it the council culture. Because it is. It's the council culture that's what I think most people go on these things to look for. They want the controversy. They want the drama. They don't want the truth. Truth is boring. But me, I'd be really trying to watch and support because our numbers, somebody's watching. And I always feel like, I'm like Schoolboy, 7-8, and PBK, and Thompson's. We is no different than them. We all are here on YouTube. We all out here on YouTube. And this ain't NBC. This ain't CNN. This ain't nothing but old Pitbull podcast, y'all. This ain't no Facebook shit. I stay in the past. I'm going to be talking dog fighting shit in the past. I'm going to stay back here where it's safe for me to talk about dog fighting. And back here, we don't know when, we don't know where, we don't even know if it happened.
All right, bet. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, so I'm in the car, so this is acting stupid, but I appreciate y'all. But yeah, let me go ahead and get right into this thing, man. As far as getting involved and the why behind the dog business. Let me first start with saying that the first thing that a lot of people think is I'm gonna get 2 dogs, I'm gonna breed them, I'm gonna sell puppies, and I'm gonna make a lot of money. And in most, what's up, Carice? In most situations with other breeds, you can do that. But with this being a working dog, that's not the case. And so what I really wanted to start sharing on my lives was the hustle side of the dog business. You know what I'm saying? Like my videos, I show the training and stuff like that. But the hustle side is like, how do you sustain your program when you don't have a litter of puppies? Or how do you sustain your program when you're not trying to let any of your puppies go, but you want to maintain all them puppies you just had? And so that's where business side comes into it. And if you want to be a member of the Shogun Army or rock with the Shogun Army, you have to become a business-minded person. So never take it personal when you're dealing with business. You got to take emotions out of it. Now, what that means is you're going to have products, and your product is not going to be for everybody. That's just like you got, what's the difference? You got like Colgate toothpaste, you got Crest toothpaste. Some people like Crest. What's good? What's good? Crack it. Some people like Crest, some people like Colgate. You know what I'm saying? Some people like Burger King, some people like McDonald's. So what you got to do is you got to find a product that you yourself will use, because they say when it comes to investing, when it comes to business, invest in what you like. So when it comes to the dogs or business or any of that stuff, good morning, Hunt Down Kennel, salute. When it comes to the dogs or any of that stuff, man, invest in what you like. You know, so going back to the business side with the dog thing, well, I keep telling people like I'm trying to be like the Chick-fil-A of dog stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I sell highs, I sell hoodies. You know what I'm saying? We sell different things out of off my website, and that is to sustain my business side of what I'm doing. And it's great to do that because what I'm looking for is I'm looking for great customer service. I'm looking for consistency. I'm looking to put out a product that is the same standard across the board. You know what I'm saying? Hey, crack it. These hoodies are actually kind of expensive because I'm going third party. You know what I'm saying? Now, the hoodies go for about $50. And what I really would like is to find somebody local who produces hoodies. Business move. You know what I'm saying? This hoodie was actually made local, but the guy that was making them, he was a brother. I wanted to aggregate funds to keep him in the community, but he was moving stupid slow. Now, what happens is when I get an order for a hoodie and he can't produce 10 hoodies in a reasonable amount of time for me to get them out to my customers, now I'm the face. You know what I'm saying? And my face is holding that being late.
All right, in here with the little boogers. All right, guys, we had a question about mouse. I've had quite a few of them, actually, about breeding for mouse. So that's what the topic's going to be today. Personally, mouse a preference. A lot of people, think they know what mouse is until they really see it. You know what I mean? I found the best way to get mouth out of dogs is use a family of dogs that's consistently producing mouth. You know what I mean? And it's not necessarily a bloodline thing. It's more of a, certain dogs can produce it consistently. Certain strains produce it consistently. I usually find that I get really good mouth when I go into the Chinaman type blood, the Eli Jr. I like the Rascal.
the Turtle Buster. You know, I use all them dogs together. I've never had luck with dogs without a lot of mouth, okay? I just haven't. I mean, I know people say, well, the dog's real talented and all, you know, and average mouth is average mouth to me. Like when I have a bitch that just shows average mouth, or like, okay, just for instance, for Cherry, okay? Cherry and her strain of dogs, they show middle in mouth. You know what I mean? Them dogs have fair to middle in mouth, even Trouble. He's not a what I consider a really hard biting dog, but he's got good mouth, you know, fair mouth, especially for his family. But like with Cherry, she's got a real fast mouth, and she's got fair mouth, you know, not like I said, not what I consider hard mouth. I always top her with something that's coming consistently throws mouth. You know what I mean? Like the last litter we got in there, that those dogs consistently bring good and heavy mouth, you know. And when I say mouth, I mean real mouth. You know what I mean? You want to have like ooh la la kind of mouth. You know what I mean? It, like I said, we're breeding dogs that have to be able to punish something considerably larger than themselves. Okay, it's something that their hide's tough. What we're after, the hide's a lot tougher than a dog. The thicker, they got a layer of fat. You got to have something that can bust through that. You know, you got to be able to touch a nerve, or otherwise it's like a 2-year-old hanging on your leg. They just keep walking away. You know what I mean? So I do like a really hard mouth dog. It's something that's I prefer. I like good mouth, good finish, and speed. That's you know. Everyone's saying, well, gameness. Yes, gameness is important. You got to have it. But it's not the only thing you got to have. But they have to be game. It doesn't matter. I've had a lot of dogs, a lot of families of dogs that had terribly hard bites. But they didn't have the bottom end. You know, that's you're back to square one. It doesn't matter how hard he can bite if he's not biting, or he gives up and runs back to the truck. You know what I'm saying? Then it doesn't matter how hard he can bite if he wears himself out. You know what I mean? And when as soon as he gets hot, he don't want to catch hogs no more. I mean, they have to be willing to work through all that. And mouth is an important thing. If you're trying to add mouth in your line, go to a stud dog, and top your bitches with something that consistently has produced mouth. And when I mean mouth, you want real heavy mouth, okay? Now, not all your puppies are going to catch it, okay? Not all of them are going to catch it. Some of them will, some of them won't.
You know, the game is not about you, homie. I do this for the masses when it comes to these pit bulls. I can care less whether you catch attitude, you catch attitude. I do this for everybody. UK, Bear 187, Mary, everybody. You know, all my folk in South Africa, everybody. Not just you over there in Tennessee, not just you over there in New York, not just you in South Carolina, you know? So when you want to feel some kind of way, I mean, it is what it is. Everything not going to be meant to take it easy. Everything not going to come to you smooth. Everything not going to be peanut butter and jelly. And that's what distinguishes the rest from the best. You know? And when I say that, I don't mean dog channels, I mean dog men. You know what I'm saying? Dog men. Been so gassed up with brothers being on their jock for so long, they think they are the dog game. No one man is the dog game. You know? Mr. Kobe is not the dog game. Mr. Tudor is not the dog game. Mayday is not the dog game. Eli Jeep is not the dog game. Everybody is the dog game.
Either like, you know, a velvet cloth. I ain't on one dog. I think I took a dog out one day. It was hot. Walking around Polk Community College. I bring the dog back to the house. Next day I get out of school, you know. I come home from school. I go doing normal yard duties. I see baby gal in the pen. She's sitting down like this right here on all fours. Jay-Z come out the house. Yeah, damn. You done missed the pads on my dog feeder. I said, I ain't missed no pads on the dog feeder. He said, hey, you did. My dog can't even stand up. Come look at my dog. Looked at the dog. The pads was each point on the pad was red cherry raw. I was like, good Lord have mercy. And and he elaborated on that. He said, the pads on the dog's feet are like velvet cloth. Please don't try to harden the velvet on a dog's pad by using some kind of medicine, okay, like tincture or benzine, okay, or tough skin or purple violet ointment. He said, don't use this, He's saying don't use this. He said the smartest way to prepare his feet is with 5 or 10 minutes of work a day at a fast pace for 2 weeks or more. Yeah. For 2 weeks or more. This natural now. This is just the natural building, just the building the pads of a dog's feet up. And then he went on to say, he said, if you don't prepare his feet correctly, okay, the pads is going to shine over. It's going to shine over. If anybody ever polished and shined the boot before, not that glossy shine, but it's like a cheap pocketbook type, cheap leather pocketbook type shine. It shines over, and they may start peeling off one at a time when you start increasing his work. When you start increasing his work, your dog feet can take a lot of hard work if you don't let the dog run the mill fast or too long for the first few days. For the first few days. So all the stuff, that everybody has their own way of doing things. And some people swear by the tough paw, some people swear by the bad bomb and all the other stuff, dipping their feet, all type of stuff. They swear by that, and it may work for some. It may work for some. But all in all, when you take it from a person, who now if you're gonna actually, do any type of study or any type of research, anything pertaining to these dogs, you understand what I'm saying? It's best to seek the people that were successful in doing what they were doing. If I ran a poll, and I would put James Crenshaw up there, I would put Don Mayfield up there. Who else I put up there? Don Mayfield. I put Robert Lim up there. Who else I put up there? Another great conditioner. I can even put Doc up there. I got to put African American dog man up there. I put Jamaican Doc up there. Put him up there. Now retired. But if I had to pick all of these, if I had to pick one conditioner, okay, out of all of these, and they were like, hey man, all of them like, hey, come to my house, stay with me for 3 years. I'm gonna teach you how to work a dog. All 4 of these guys, come on, pro, come to my house. I'm gonna teach you how to work the dog. Even Schoolboy Garcia, yeah, come on, pro, I'm gonna teach you how to condition the dog. Who house would you go stay with for 3 years if all y'all had a choice? Would you go live with Robert Lim for 3 years? And in these 3 years, he gonna show you how to build treadmills, and he gonna show you how to condition dog, and he gonna give you his philosophy behind the dog. Or are you gonna go to Don Mayfield, okay, and learn up on him? All great conditioners, okay, all great conditioners. Not to take anything from any one of them. But if you want to do a comparison like that, like how people compare, hey man, Shaq and Kobe, in the little fiasco that they went through, in their tenure of getting their championships. Well, you could
when you go to talking about, you know, putting Kobe up on the level of like guys like Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Steph Curry, Robert Horry, some of the great champions out there, guys that have actually been to the dance and actually got it. And when you put Kobe up there, you know, the first argument that anybody gonna say about Kobe, they're gonna say, well, yeah, cool. Okay. Kobe, he won 2 rings by himself. Okay. But, the first 3 rings that he won, it is evident that he couldn't have won them without Shaq. He couldn't have won them without Shaq. And by Shaq actually being in the lead the longest, and had been to the dance already, he was a major integral part of all 3 of those championships. And Kobe, he knew that he really was the Robin, the Shaq's Batman. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that. So when you dealing with somebody on the dog scale, when we talking about the dog scale in great conditioners, hey man, what you got to do? You got to pull up the resume. Hey, yeah, you had some great dogs, man. Yeah, Don Mayfield, you had some great dogs. Yeah, but hey, you ain't had the wins that Robert Lynn had. You ain't had the wins this man had with him and Stinson and Glover, and didn't need $50 to do it. Didn't need $20 to do it. Didn't need $10 to do it. Didn't need $10 to do it to make his mark in the game.
To starting from scratch. No dogs raised, sold, or bred for any illegal purposes. This is strictly for historical, entertainment, and educational purposes only. We do not condone animal cruelty in any form or fashion. This is starting from scratch. Wood Snooty, the history. Wood Snooty become one of the greatest dogs in American Pitbull Terrier history. With 2 losses and 2 wins. This phenomenal bulldog here, buckskin and white, black nose, Wood Snooty, will be one of the greatest American Pitbull Terriers in history as far as producing. I will show you right here, starting from scratch. Snooty would shake the world of the American Pitbull Terrier. Wood Snooty was sired by Houghton's Snake, bred to Art Smithy. Snooty's breeder was Maurice Carver. He was owned by Kimsey Woods. You see how I just said Snooty was sired by Houghton Snake and Art Smithy? Well, Maurice Carver bred Snooty. And there were, just say it plain like this right here. It was pretty much, Art Smithy was Ed Crenshaw bred. Yep, Ed Crenshaw bred. Snooty was a proven game dog. Yep, Wood Snooty. One of the best. I rank Snooty, to tell you the truth, I rank Snooty up there with Tudor's Dabo. I really do. As far as producing wise. Yep, Wood Snooty. Snooty was bred to some phenomenal females. Good quality females. And produced phenomenally. He was bred to Grand Champion Molly B. Produced Champion Red Lady. Phenomenal dog. Great dogs. With Snooty. Was bred to Hannah Patch to produce these dogs here. Phenomenal bred dogs. Snooty. Snooty only produced one grand champion out of all his dogs they produced. And that was Garner's grand champion Spike, who Harry Hargrove said was one of the hardest biting dogs. Great dog. Great dog. Spike, son of Snooty. Snooty bred to Pool Hall Red produced this phenomenal dog here, Champion Thor. A phenomenal dog. That Snooty and Boomerang cross was a pretty good cross. Yes, it was. Doubling up on that Ed Crenshaw.
This is a continuing of me watching doing the bath for my dog. But yeah, when you're washing your dog, you have to get them real lathered down. See, he likes a bath. And there's no right way or no wrong way to wash your dog.
Why are you using that brush?
You know, just to get it down to his skin, scrub the dirt off him. You know, a dog don't have a wash rag. So, you know, if they got any fleas in there, you know, the soap will penetrate. And when I rinse him, all the dirt will be off him. He'll be real clean. That's a good question that you asked. He's not a hard dog to wash. Because Brutus Beefcake had a lot of baths. You know, so when you're washing your dog, you can't be scared to get wet. You got to come out here and wash him and get wet with
him. In the winter in this area, it's the last of February, and the time of the year, spring's right here on us. And most of the people in this area, this is about the time of the year they cut their beards off, plant their gardens, and watch the fruit trees bloom. It's a good time to making videos, talking dog stories. This is video number 11, and I've asked the different ones that's seen the other videos to write me questions, and I would answer these questions in a way of trying to create some more stories for us to talk about. And different ones has been asking me questions, sending in questions. This first question we're going to start on here, it come from Bill Reynolds. He's the editor of the American Game Dog Times out of North Carolina. And he asked, what did you see in Tombstone in that 10-minute roll to decide to match him into Bully Sun Jr.? Well, Tombstone was he was one of the dogs in the game that, as we all know, he became a famous dog. And there's lots to tell about such a dog as Tombstone. He was a dog that's left record of his time here in such a way that it'll be in the game for years to come. And he was a dog that was bred by Don Maloney. Don Maloney, he was dealing with Earl Tudor at that time, and he had dogs bred out of Earl Tudor's yard. And he bred Tombstone out of his dog he called Toot. Toot was a dog that was out of Tudor's Spike and Tudor's Baby. And no, it was Tudor's Spike and Black Widow. Black Widow was a dog that Maurice Carver once owned, and he got her from Miss Hanson, which she originally came from Earl Tudor's yard. And she ended up back on Earl Tudor's yard in later years after several different ones had owned her. And when she ended up on his yard, he bred her to Spike, and that produced Toot, Maloney's Toot. Maloney, he dealt that pup at a time to Ron Petronelli in Boston, and I believe it was Rhode Island where Ron lived. But Maloney had he was dealing with Earl Tudor at the time, and he had some of Earl Tudor's very purebred bitches over at his house that he was keeping and breeding them, and him and Earl was splitting the pups in such a way as Don got to keep the ones that he wanted to keep, but the ones he didn't want to keep, he gave to Earl, and Earl was selling them. But if anybody sold any of those dogs, it would be Earl. The deal was Don just to keep the males, and the females came back to Earl's house. Well, Don didn't, there's no way that he would have let Earl know that he sold one of those pups out of one of those purebred bitches, because it upset Earl very much. And when he sold that pup to Ron Petronelli, which was Tombstone, he sold him to her under the breeding of showing that she was out of a crossbred, an out-scatterbred female called Gina. But I never was able to find out exactly for sure how Tombstone was bred. But I always thought that she was out of some of those purebred bitches that Don had there in his yard. But if he would have ever let Earl know about it, I mean, you know, it would have been a breakup for sure. And Don wouldn't have ever let nobody know about exactly how that dog was bred. But I was just sure that the dog wasn't out of Gina. Well, Ron Petronelli got Tombstone when he was a puppy, and he raised him up there in the cold country in Rhode Island, and they always had him real fat, real heavy up there, and he grew up to be a big dog. He was a big dog, match weight around 55 pounds. I think they wanted to match him at catch weight one time, and they found out his lungs was bad. They thought his lungs was bad, so they didn't match him. And they called the match off. But they schooled him up in that area, and schooled him real hard. He was, Ron Petronelli was known to really school his dogs hard. And so Ron had a male that he had bought from Maurice Carver he called Sioux Boy. And the dog had won 2 matches and was matched to go in for his 3rd match. And I was looking for a big dog at that time. And I'd heard about Ron having that dog and all the things that had been done with the dog and everything, and how Don Maloney was trying to get the dog back. Well, I had a friend down in San Antonio that owned Sioux Boy's sister, a fellow named Jim Rourke's, friend of Maurice Carver's. And Jim and I had been doing some dealing, and I had bought 5 dogs from him, and this female was one of them, Sioux Boy's sister. So I contacted Ron Petronelli and told him that I would deal him Sioux Boy's sister for that Tombstone dog. And he was real high on that Sioux Boy dog. And so we made the deal, and I sent him the female, and he sent me Tombstone. When I got Tombstone, he was a real heavy dog. He must have weighed 60, 70 pounds maybe. He was just real fat. And so I cut his feed down and got him down to, maybe 58, somewhere around there. I pulled him on down pretty good there in a short time. And then I rode him, this 10-minute roll that Bill was asking me about. I think I wrote of it one time in a story.
People didn't like the idea that I was so competitive, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I probably accomplished a lot of things that they probably wish that I didn't. So in my endeavors in this game, you know, I've done probably about everything you can do with it, you know, and been very successful. But I've had some very good ones, and some of the people who got some of them right now, they're still doing well for them.
Damn, you had termite, man. That's a whole bloodline. Just termite alone, that's saying a lot. That's a big staple of the dog game, because you can look through quite a few dogs and you're gonna see termite in there.
Yeah, and the most honorable thing about it is I raised them from a puppy.
Damn.
All the way through the top.
And now I read in the story, wasn't they saying that termite was the one that they didn't like because he didn't meet for instance, they got breeders nowadays say that the dog should be red nose. But in those days with Jocko, they wanted them to be buckskin like Jocko. And so is it true that they thought that termite didn't fit the standard because of the color?
Because of the color. Well, here's what they fail to realize. That Yellow's mama name was Maud, him and JR. The two brothers. Their mama name was Maud. Well, the grandmama name was Rose. That was Termite's daddy's sister. So they bred Rose back to Jocko, her daddy, and made Maud. But they made a 50-50 cross there. Half Red Boy and half Jocko. So now, with my dog was primarily, Termite was about 3/4 of Jocko. So Termite's daddy was Dan, he was off of Jocko, and then the mama, Jocko was the granddad on both sides of them dogs. So, and that little Lonzo blood, because he didn't have as much Red Boy as Yellow and them did. So when they made the cross with Yellow and Maud, they threw some big Brundle red dogs, big Brundle pretty dogs, you know.
When they made the cross of Yellow and who?
And the Jocko bitch, the Maud. The litter that Yellow John came from. Yellow came from.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. That's what the dogs look like that. Big Brundle dogs. Because that was a 50-50 cross. That was directly off of Yellow John.
Yeah, so termite do got a touch of termite still is considered red boy Jock. Well, you can call him Jocko Red Boy.
His mama. What happened is they took a Red Boy Junior and bred the chickens like this. They was half Red Boy, half Lonzo. Then they took that and which was Lady Sausage, back to Jocko himself. That's why the dogs sound black.
Oh, there you go. I hear you now.
Yeah, they were black and Brundle then. But even the dogs direct off of termite, he's never sold another dog off of him other than the black Brundle dog directly off of him.
Black or Brundle?
Black or Brundle. Hyena was Brundle. Golden was Brundle. And it was just
now Hyena. That was Hyena was straight off of him, right?
Yeah, that was direct off him. That was Gabriel's brother.
Okay.
So each one of those dogs went different places, but they started a whole family of dogs. Gabriel went to South Florida. Not Gabriel, but Hyena went to South Florida and started his dogs over there. And Gabriel went to up north. He started a family over there. A lot of y'all them had Booger over there. He started putting a family over there in Carolina.
If you ain't familiar yet, then you must be at the house sleeping, because everybody else, there's a household name. You know what I'm saying? This is a household name.
I appreciate it, man. Big ups to you, Pelican Bay. I appreciate it.
Now, get this interview started, man. you know, we're gonna be talking about some training. We're gonna be talking about the pits, the miles, the Dutchess, or whatever.
About it all, baby.
How long you been training? How long you been into training dogs?
I'm 52. I've been walking. I was known as the dog boy. You know, at first, dog boy, where I'm from. So, 5th, 6th, 4th grade, you know, always got a bunch of dogs in the woods. I lived in the woods at the time, you know, it was near the woods. I'm from Amelia Island. Fernandina Beach is on the same island. I stayed on the far west end of the island in Franklin Town. It's a historical black town where the slaves came from, the Harrison plantation, and we had all kind of animals out there. So, you know, everybody in the family had animals and dogs, but my parents moved to the city of Jacksonville. So I really couldn't have animals, but I was always around the animals, all kind of animals. And I'm talking about everything, bro. You can't name much I ain't been around, from horses, swine, cattle, emus, ostriches, all kind of fish, reptiles, turtles, every breed of dog. And so I always, you know, went to the relative's house or a friend's house or people who had dogs and made them my dog. So I've been walking down the street and hanging in the woods with dogs since I was a very little boy. And training dogs, it was something I figured out how to make a dog do something, you know, rather it was stealing my mama food out the refrigerator, you know, steaks, hot dogs, cheese.
Yeah.
And trying to make the dogs follow me and be my friend. And I learned how to train animals, but, you know, growing up in my earlier life, you know, working for the city and them sending me to seminars and stuff like that in school. And then I learned why they were doing what they were doing. You know, I didn't know the terminology for it. So when you ask me how long I've been training dogs, just say, man, I'm one of those people that God gave that gift to, like other people in their craft.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I definitely believe that, man. I definitely believe that. When a brother can't deny that particular statement that you made, if he paid attention to your videos and been following your videos since back in the days. You know, I've been following your videos. We're going to get into all that later on in this right here, in this interview. We're going to get into that. I'm going to let you know I've been following your videos. You know, but you say you was young, but how old was you when you think you got your first dog?
See,
can you remember your first dog name? Can you remember?
Brownie, I know Brownie was my first dog. I'm saying, but me, I didn't have Brownie but a day or so. He broke out the gate, knocked my daddy iron gate. My daddy had we had the big house with the iron gates all around it with the cages. He knocked that shit down. He ran away. He couldn't stay. But I had other dogs that I had captured and they was in the woods. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I had dogs.
Yeah.
My parents didn't allow me to have no dogs on the property, but I had dogs that I made be my friends, and I had them in the woods and the neighbors' dogs and stuff. So just say when they found I was out of high school when I actually had a dog that they said was mine. No, that's not true. 7th, 8th grade, I had Count the Doberman that I worked for the whole summer along with my uncle in Ferdinand Island Barbershop. And he had a litter of Isabella Gray Dobermans. And my other cousin across the street had a Doberman, you know, they call it Warlock, just a big dog, just a dog. They try to give it a name. Warlock don't mean nothing. But he had a big Doberman over there, and they bred him, and I got one of the puppies out of the litter, and I kept him for a long time until my daddy sent his ass away. You know, my dad was one of them guys, you didn't do what he say do. He'll call the dog man on you. So dogs came and left all the time. But I always was hanging at other people's house training their dogs. I went across the street to the neighbor before I had my own dog. My neighbor across the street had a husky mixed with German Shepherd and a whole bunch of them in the backyard, one in the house. I stayed over there all day long. I was training dogs. So they was like my dogs. I don't want to say I didn't have a dog or when I got a dog. I was always around the dogs, training the dogs. They was my dogs. But when I first got my first dog, I'll say the one that I could keep the longest was the Doberman. And then after high school, I got my first American Pitbull Terrier, and I had American Pitbull Terriers up until I was probably 26, 27.
Okay.
The last dog I had, oh shit, I don't know. I had hundreds of American Pitbull Terriers. Everything Ronald Boyles had in his yard. I had a sister and brother to that, and I had been around all of those dogs because my goddaddy, he was active in American Pitbull Terriers, Vernon McClendon. He had dogs, Clyde the Undertaker's half-brother, Lil Willie. We had dogs off of Ironhead, Sapelo, dogs directly off of Midnight Cowboy, Bobo. We had all kind of Kobe dogs, Lightner dogs, everything, you know, you could think of that was Bully Son type good dogs back then. So I grew up around Bulldogs, Dobermans, Rottweilers, German Shepherds, Great Danes, everything you could think of. I've already been around it. I was around it every day. Sound like a kid lying. You know, when if I said this same thing to you back then when we were growing up, a kid be like, oh, he lying. He trying to say he have it. Man,
yeah. Shit, I believe you, bro. I believe you, man. I believe you. Now, since we was talking about the old school, I wanted to ask you about a few things real quick. All right, I'm gonna see if I can turn your mic on when I'm playing this video because our mics will get muted, but I'm gonna see if I can turn them on real quick.
Had a veterinarian that he sent the veterinarian school, and when he come back home, he built him his own, built him the building and everything, put him in business. Mr. Till was a businessman. He owned a lot of land and everything in Wadesboro, North Carolina, and he had that Bowman, what was called a Bowman restaurant, and he put that young man in sent him off to veterinary school, and he was Mr. Till's personal vet, and so, but back then the heartworm treatment was arsenic, and you had to be real careful. If you killed all the heartworms at one time, the dog would die. And so he went through an arsenic treatment, which is really hard on the dog's system. And so when they got through with all that and give him a little rest and time and all, they come out on that Leposse, that female, I don't know if Leposse owner or who owned her. Leposse was the one that made the challenge. I was standing there when they made the challenge. And, of course, Mr. Till, he was telling Bass, and I want to say first, I'm not a great fan of Bass. Yeah. He was telling Bass that, hold on a minute, because they were going to bring a female, you know.
Yeah.
And Bass made the statement that he said, I don't care if they bring her dead in heat. If she bites him, he'll kill her.
Damn.
That's how confident he was. And so everything went through, and that's when I saw that show, that one, and that's when I met my dog partner. We met that same day. He come the first time to see the first one, and then the second one when he came, that's when I met him, and I saw the second show. Now, Red Boy was a smart head dog, and when that bitch hit him, she was a storm bomber. She just nailed him, and she hit him hard in the shoulder. Well, he reached over and just reached right over and caught her right across the bridge of her nose, took her right out.
Dang.
And then she got into his back end. He was a very heavy muscle dog. He was limber, and he was a very intelligent dog. He just reached back there, caught her across the bridge of her nose, took her out of there. And when he get those good nose holes, he would stay in holes, and a lot of people said he didn't have no bite. He had a soft mouth. He was a lot of people don't understand the difference between a snatching, tearing dog and a dog that is a hard pressure biter. Mm-hmm. And that's what he was. He was a hard pressure biting dog.